feel like what I should do is drop out a word from my intro and see if anyone can fill it in. Like, that's what we're on to do. A bit of karaoke. Dean Saunders, how you doing?
I'm good.
Kroud Karaoke legends, Alex and Chris.
That is big legend. That means you're old, doesn't it?
Father and son, right?
Yes.
Father
and son?
Who takes responsibility for the idea?
I think it'll have to be me, won't it? Because
Which is mental, because every conversation I have with Alex, he tries to claim it's his.
Well, he will, won't he? He's good at it, though.
Hey.
He's good at, like...
I fell for it.
This is what I've created. But so it was me. And I brought Alex on board because he was a promo king. So, as you know, promo kings. And I went to him, Alex, do you want to be involved with this? So he goes, I'll do a bit of promotion for it. I went, great. A few weeks later, get on the stage. I don't want to get on the stage shaking.
No, I'll remember, honestly, that to this day, I remember he was like, come over for some tea, we'll have a little chat about it and stuff like that. I was like, right, no worries. I came over, and in the living room, there was like this deck set up with it plugged into the screen and the TV, and I was like, what's all that doing out there? Like, and he was just like, oh, well, you need to get practicing and stuff. When you go on stage, I was like, I did not sign up for this.
You never DJ'd in his life.
I did not sign up.
You'll be fine.
When is this as well? How long ago is this?
When we launched it in 2018.
2018.
Yeah, 2019, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
Yeah. He's hopeless with dates, 2019, but basically never did. Obviously, I DJ'd and stuff and for 32 years, and I sort of got a bit fed up with DJing. So I'd had an idea about this years ago when we used to do the student pub crawls.
Yeah.
So it was things like, we used to come in and always had screens around the bars and stuff. And back then it was, for people old enough, the discs, karaoke discs, like CDs, stick that in on the screens and just play like an Oasis track or so, dead easy. And all the students would be there with their, whatever pub crawl it was, all over each other singing.
Your dad works for my dad. Classic. Classic Mike Pesca, Polly versus Posh.
Yeah. Oggy.
It was corny.
So it was just like, right, I'm going to do this, but then, my DJ career was I was quite busy all the time. So I was like, right, I'll put that on the back burner, and it just sort of just sat there for ages. And it was where, obviously, we've got good friends at the Stack, said, we're opening this new venue, got great big screens. Are you going to do that thing you've been talking about for like 20 years? I'm like, yeah, can do, yeah. And then you have to think of how we're going to make this work, how we're going to do it. And I had to do a full-on presentation. And obviously, Kev and Tanya have supported us loads since we started. And Kev actually made us go and do a full-on presentation in the office. Like,
did you have words missing from the PowerPoint? Fill that in.
I just opened the screen and said, so that's going to go on the big screen and everybody's going to sing. He went, what if they don't sing? I went,
they will.
I've been DJing for 30 years.
Yeah.
People
so
sing.
So it's like when you turn a song down, they all sing.
Yeah.
Except you're not going to turn the song down because there's no words in it. So it was like, right, okay. And then obviously that's when I dragged Alex in because it was like to promote it and do all this stuff. He loves getting in amongst it.
No, Alex. No.
He loves it.
No.
A little bit of sword. Well, that's what I thought I was going to be doing, to be honest.
So I've never seen someone shake as much before the first show. Honestly. And like, obviously Kev is a bit of a wind-up merchant, and he went, I've had real bother with the screen, so it keeps going off all day. Like, I mean, the
sounds iffy in our mind.
Honestly. So he was like, oh my God.
I was white.
I need one drink before I start.
It's very reminiscent from a day, isn't it?
Yeah, where is it?
Where's that one beer gone, Alex?
But yeah, so obviously got Alex involved, and from then he's turned into a superstar DJ now, and
yeah, well, I like to think so.
And I'm just the tatey in the shirt at the front. So speaking of which, you've got the gifts.
Oh yes, I do. I've got a Brun bearing gifts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, while you're grabbing gifts, where would people remember seeing you DJ?
So I mean, from the 90s. City Vaults, which was just next door.
Oh, nice.
Hey, it's not a Kroud Karaoke with a Kroud shirt.
Am I expected to blow this up, by the way?
Actually, what you could do is set a timer and see how long it takes you to blow it up. We did that on one of ours.
I feel like that's content in itself, seeing me do this. Yeah. I don't think we have enough time.
Yeah. It's not what he ordered from Timu. He ordered a blow up something, but not like in the microphones came. So.
Well, I was going to say for context as well, obviously, as I think you mentioned every episode, it's boiling in this boardroom, isn't it? Well, sorry, it's not boardroom, it's podcast studio now. Boardroom by day, podcast studio by by night. But that's on there, so we can't actually get the music on. And thank God you didn't bring the shocker.
Oh, no. Well, next time, when we're on next time, we've got to...
I'm wearing it.
I feel like I've just joined... I feel like I'm the third member of Salado.
It fits you so good as well.
Hey, it is. It's very slimming.
Oh, it's good. Fucking need it. So yeah, where would people remember you from?
So the 90s, I worked a lot around the big markets because I loved that whole... More than just DJing, it was like presenting. So it was a bit holiday style. I would say my style of DJing. So it would just be like people come out, have a good time. So City Vault's up the road, but my main one was Yell, which it's what's it called now?
It's a Revs to Cuba.
Revs to Cuba.
Okay.
But it was Yell. So Yell was like basically a fun pub from what you would see in Tenerife or Magaluf or something.
Yeah.
And we used to get people on the stage and, like do loads of games. So it would be, some of the games we do, which would be, I'd be banned now. We've done some of this stuff. So, you'd wax people's nuts.
Oh my God. Again, you were trying to get the shockers on us in that same manner before.
I thought if you smile, stop me smiling. But yeah, so it would be like, we used to have people, like characters used to come in.
Do you know why people don't get their nuts waxed anymore in nightclubs? Instagram.
Yeah.
Honestly,
because once it happened in the nightclub,
I would have been lifted.
People were like, did I see that last night?
Arrested at the end of the night.
But it's massively changed, hasn't it? Do you know what I mean? The thing is, I remember even when I first started DJing in Newcastle, 20 years ago or whatever, and you were almost going out, some people to look stupid. Fancy dress was massive.
Yeah.
The amount of people that were going out on stags and hens or birthday parties dressed up as like, there was pub golf, there was like, like doctors and nurses and all of that. Yeah. And ultimately now people want to look great because they're going to get photographed.
Yeah. But this is what I've always said. And I think there was a thing come on. It was on Instagram. I think you sent it to us. I sent it to you. That's me all right there.
Doesn't sound great.
There was a thing on. There was a thing on where it was a club and the build up of a song was going. Everybody's there with their cameras and they're like going way, and then the drop hits. And then everybody just goes like that.
Quick send, quick get it uploaded.
The dance floor just stops and that is insane. And Alex is always very big on why we don't get tagged loads. People are too busy having a good time. They're not like thinking, I'm going to get Instagram, because they're like living the moment. And I'd rather
that's what I was going to say about like our events.
Some false people going, hey, you know what I mean?
That's what I was going to say about. I've just kind of stopped caring in a way because it's really like to do with sort of like when you're there, like no one's there to act cool. Like no, literally when you're there, like even you are the coolest person, even when you are the coolest person there, you can guarantee that coolest person there will be on the table at the end.
Tell the truth. So tell the truth. When I first told you what my uniform was going to be, you were not happy.
Nah. Well, I'm sure it was a glitter shirt at the start or something.
Yeah, it's a visual catchphrase, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Visual catchphrase.
I wanted one of the proper sort of, I think like a Stephen Mulhern, where it's proper sparkly jacket. So I could strut out like a peacock when but he was going, we'll do the shirts.
Absolutely not.
So the first couple were at Stack.
Yeah.
Oh, when I say couple, the first...
we launched it from Stack and then just sort of, it went crazy. It was just, people went mad. We had to move it from a Saturday to a Friday because it was just too busy. Because obviously once people were in, nobody left. So it was like, you physically can't fit any more people in.
Yeah, I remember the queues. Remember when they used to kind of go around and across the road and then over to like where Five Guys is, and then you used to have to like have Dorman jotted around to like, make sure everyone was all right.
Especially, it was like building and built. It just went crazy. And then I think it was Metro Radio approached us and we'd only done 2 shows, I think it was, and we got approached by Metro Radio because I think the Stack was sponsoring the fireworks. I think it was. Do you want to come do the fireworks? So the next thing we know, we're standing in front of 20,000 people at Saltwell Park going, we haven't even perfected this. We're sort of going, right, we'll do this next time, because we found out like things that work and things that, maybe we need to cut that a bit shorter. And like when you're doing a DJ set, you're sort of playing around with something, you go, that works, that's a dead cert. So you always got stuff that you go, right, we can go with that this month because we need it to work. So if we're launching a new show, we've got ones where we go, everyone's a banger. You know they're not going to fail. But
Well, we used to
go further down south.
We used to play the whole song, if you remember, when we first started.
Yeah.
But now we do like a girly mix, like in a lads mix as well. And like obviously it's like it hits that, has that sort of like verse in the chorus, and it's like boom in the next one. So it's like everyone's like way, like
so you get that initial way, and then they sing the first verse chorus, which most people know.
Yeah.
And then,
but essentially that's you're just describing how I used to DJ at Digital Mondays. You know what I mean? Just flashing through stuff really quick.
So it's basically back to Yell. That Yell, it was on vinyl, 7-inch singles. Oof. I mean, now I'm showing the age, but and you just like bang into sometimes you wouldn't even play. You'd just get to the chorus bit and like bang it out, and they'd go, but then the next song would start, and the atmosphere just builds from it.
Yeah.
In amongst like we didn't get people on stage when we first started, but we have now for our Kroud Karaoke trophy, handcrafted in China. So. Because I'm always a bit wary because of Yell days when we used to get people like the Fanny Magnet on stage. You ever met the Fanny Magnet before?
Please tell me.
So the Fanny Magnet,
is it us in these shirts?
he's passed away now, but so Fanny Magnet was like, he worked in, I think, the market and stuff, but I think he used to always around town. He used to wear a suit that was too big for him, and he was like a bit sort of scruffy kid, really. So anyway, we got him a silver thong, and we used to get him on stage, and then we'd get a hen up, and like we'd have him hidden in the back. So the hen would get up on the stage, sit down on like a chair, and we'd go, "Oh, what's your hen do? You've got your friends have got together and got you a strippergram." You see all the friends going, "We haven't," and then we'd start like, "Freaky baby, you know, let me lick you up and down," and out Fanny Magnet would come. So I mean, I will send you a picture. So you can put it somewhere just so that the crowd can appreciate it. And then I used to get sort of two up, and they'd have to do a couple of things because it was a bit scruffy. So it'd be like they had to lick his armpit, lick his chest hair and his nipples, suck his toes, and the first one to give in would lose, and they'd get one would get a bottle of Bellinor. That was what it was for. 99 pence bottle of bubbly.
Was the Fanny Magnet paid? Oh, did he just do this out the good of
Guinness?
He done that. Was he paid? He got his toes sucked. Not into that, by the way.
That's all he needed. And then there was these two girls, and they were like adamant, I'm gonna win this. And they weren't giving in. They were sucking his toes. Awful. I mean, he stunk because he'd been all day. Big, thick socks. And then I went, he had a tooth missing because he'd got drunk a couple of nights earlier, and he fell and knocked his tooth out. So I went, actually, the last thing he can do, you know the gap where he's what you have to do is lick his gum in between the teeth. And so anyway, one of the girls gave up at that point. So
well, I mean, you wouldn't
so
you?
So
surely
I thought, I
feel like in 2020
can't do that in 2024.
No, I feel like in 2024
get away with that now.
No, I think it'd be exploiting people with mental health issues. Probably is where it might be. To be honest,
yeah, probably.
If someone hasn't been to karaoke, right? Explain, sell what that experience is from start to finish. So when you arrive, what's happening?
So yeah, I mean, when you arrive, there's obviously a DJ on or live music on for us, and it's kind of like a bench layout.
Yeah.
So you have everyone sits at the benches because it's everyone pays for the tables and things like that. And then obviously the staff go around and give pretty much everyone in the whole venue a blow up mic or Dean couldn't blow up.
Are they blown up though? Or do they have to blow them up themselves?
They have to blow them themselves. Health and safety.
It's not possible.
You have to squeeze the tip.
Do you want us to blow it up for you? When he's talking, I'll blow it up for you.
They've put a hole in mine for content. I'm getting rid of it so I don't fail for a third time on camera.
20 years later.
So yeah, and then obviously we come on, and it's basically, if I had to explain it, it's just basically like a big Elro, but like a massive festival, and they had a baby, and then it was like a karaoke was born. Like it's hard to describe. I mean, it's just when we kicks off. I mean, it just kind of lifts, doesn't it? I mean, it's the presenting as well, and the
official tagline is it's not about one person singing; it's about the whole crowd singing together.
Yeah.
So that's what you'll find is you have these beefy blokes with their girlfriends. So the girlfriends drag them along. Come to Kroud Karaoke with us, and they say, "Oh, I don't like karaoke. I'm not coming to that." And
was that the woman?
At the end, these guys are there giving it big lips.
And then Wonderwall comes on. Don't look back in anger.
They're the ones that we'll have to try.
We need to go now. And they're like,
The other ones that are left. But I mean, if you can give a better description, but I mean, it is for getting your sort of worries and troubles for one night. I mean, in lockdown, we're doing it live from the Kroud Karaoke kitchen. And everyone else was doing it. I think we were the first ones to do it, but like everyone was doing it professionally and things like that. We literally.
I wanted it to be as shit as. I know that sounds shit, but I wanted it to be as shit as possible. So I literally carried my TV from the front room, stuck it on the middle of the table, and put a camera in front of it, and just streamed it. Before Facebook and Instagram used to block you from putting music on, because that was just that started through lockdown. This thing that when we first started was DJs on there doing DJ sets and all sorts, and no music ever got stopped. And it was like, hang on, we're missing a trick here. We're losing money, and this just stopped. Like, so I think the second one we done, it got halfway through and just threw us out. And we're like, what? It's a karaoke song.
But you mentioned before something that really intrigued me. So the music that you play, is it backing music with no lyrics, or is the words in and then the words come out? How do you do it so that people are singing along? Are they singing along?
It's a karaoke track, but we've sort of sourced like a really good karaoke. So it's like graphics and so the screens look good, like a nice colours, vibrant, and so and say there's like a boom in the song, the screen will sort of do a flash, and so it's almost like.
But there's no original vocals. So if you're playing an Oasis song, there's no Liam on there. If you're playing a Queen song, there's no Freddie.
So if you went to a karaoke night, you got up, it would be what's got
And are you leading it? Is anyone?
Yeah. So I'll sort of keep them. Maybe in time, or if I can sense it's like normally the second verse you find.
Yeah.
Even Living on a Prayer, which is an absolute banger. So we always start off with two.
Tell me about Gina.
Yeah, that's the one. He knows all the lines. So we always start off with two karaoke songs. So it's Tequila's our first one, because that's the easiest. It's got one lyric. So
what is it?
I feel like we're cool.
So it's just to get. It's not actually the only lyric, because everybody goes. So that should be on the thing. But so it's that, and then Living on a Prayer. We'll always start off with those two. But the second, I mean, even now, the second verse still
dips a bit.
Yeah,
because they're looking for. Is that what it says? Yeah.
Well, that's a good question. So you talked about before when you did the fireworks, which still blows my mind that you'd only done like 2 shows before you got asked that. That was 20,000 people. Is that the bit? What's the biggest? Is 20,000 the biggest, or what?
Cubics was
28.
Yeah.
28. So you've done 28,000. Stacks, how many would you say?
2.5.
2.5, yes.
Right. Yeah. So you going smaller, or are you going bigger? What do you think people stay more engaged on?
I would say that more people,
there's less chance of the people who don't get it getting done.
You know what? But you can tell them about that one that we're doing in where was it?
So we're doing Festival by the Sea. It was in Blythe. That was early on when we started.
First started, yeah.
So and one of the guys from there, who Alex knows, he said, I'm doing this small one in Killingworth. And I went, okay. He said, but it's only like literally 500 people on a field, but it'll be class, because, I've got all the food trucks, put a big screen there, we're going to have live bands, and then you guys can headline it. Like, as soon as he heard the word headline, he's all over it, isn't he? So I was looking on the map, and I'm going,
was it in Killingworth?
Yeah, it looks like it's on an industrial estate, Alex. What is this? So we turned up, and there was literally like 10 people there. And I went, mate, we'll just, save your money. Don't pay us. We'll just go home. I'm not bothered. It won't cost you a penny. We'll just go home. Give a couple of beers or something.
But the people that
problem is, all of them people, the 10 people that were there for us.
Show must go on. The show must go on.
Well. So here's me when I go on and I split the crowd in half. So the right hand side way, left hand side way. So you 5 over there, you 5 over there. Hey, and he's going, I feel sick.
More nervous to 10 people than you are 10,000.
Now though, now that we've done it for such a small crowd, it doesn't matter, because it's never going to be that.
Well, it's good you should say that, actually, because me and Felix were hoping for a private one today. Where you've got 2 people here today.
Yeah, split the crowd off.
You can't see. I mean, you can't see. You've got 20,000 people. You can't at Solar Park. I'm like, no, it's from DJing. The more people there are, you can't see people leave. You know what I mean? So you can't see people leave the dance floor in a huge venue. But like, when there's like no one there at all, I think sometimes in a weird kind of way it can be mint because all those 10 people are so invested.
Yeah.
And it becomes super personal.
It's when you're going like, everybody get down low, and the 10 of them are down. And then you're like, jump! And there's like a couple of women and their little kids.
We're still set up the confettis and everything. It was just like, no, nice. More like a...
I mean, to be fair, that's coming more common at the minute. Have you seen the blooming crack in the news at the minute? You know, all the bloody promo wars, like rap wars with Drake and Kendrick Lamar. Then have you seen Rick Ross has now got involved and Drake basically paid for like all the tickets at Rick Ross's concert. So yeah, I mean, it's been done a couple of times, hasn't it? 50 Cent, Ja Rule, and then Chris Brown and Quavo recently. But the Ja Rule one, the Rick Ross one was the other day. So Drake's bought like all the tickets, so Rick Ross is going out and performing like 100 people in like a massive stadium. So, I mean, you set the trend.
Talking of massive stadiums, how does it then get to be that this December you're doing the I can never say it. What is it?
Utility.
Utility.
It used to be the Metal Arena.
The fucking arena.
You just do what I do there. When I grew up going out in like nightclubs and things like that, whatever it was called when I first went out, it's still called that. Like I know it's been a million things since. It's been a million things, but I still say Tiger. Yeah, like I don't mean any disrespect or like any. There's been other names. There's been what there's been. Eden. There's obviously been. The Loft, like amazing, but you still call it Tiger. So to me, Metro Arena.
It was Tiger.
Yeah. Well, that's where the King played, you know what I mean? That's where we met. I'm sure we met before we met, actually.
I think so, yeah.
Probably one of these shirts on, to be honest.
I had this since then, ignore the tag.
I had me bongos going and playing some funny little remixes of chart songs. It was like, I want a cool party. So it had to be like bongo-y, sort of, just anything with a bongo, like back in, I'd find remixes, like dodgy bongo remixes to play in Canelo because it was like a beach party type of place.
Obviously, the arena though, I mean...
back to the arena.
Going off on the...
I do that.
To be fair, I think that was my fault. I just started saying everything's Tiger.
Yeah. But I mean, you can say that because I know you was in discussion with him before.
Yeah. So, obviously, we do Cubics Festival in Heron Park. So, the guys that organise that had sent us a message saying, are you free on these dates? So, but I'd spotted something about the Venga Boys doing something at the arena with the same brand. So I was like, is that just a wind up? And then next thing I know, he sent us a message, have you got these dates? I think we're going to do a mini arena tour. So do you want to do Newcastle and Leeds on these dates if you're free? I went, well, I am now. Because we were getting low. I'd just come off the phone with the guys from Stack, booking in all the dates right up until the end of the year. But luckily they'd left Christmas because we're going to do New Year's Eve. We always do like a New Year's Eve show for them there because it sort of keeps we nearer to home. So it's like, right, get these dates in quick. And it's just mad. It's the fact that we're doing it there. For me, it's
so what date?
14th of December.
14th of December. Yeah. Tickets are on sale now.
Yes.
And obviously we do the first direct one at Leeds as well. So we're doing them too. So it's the Metal Radio Utility Arena and then first direct at Leeds. And that's the weekend after.
Most important question of the whole podcast, do you need a warm-up DJ at the arena?
Of course.
Because I have started DJing recently and I am looking for my first gig.
You've started DJing?
No. I'm sorry.
I bet you've got all the gear though, haven't you? Yeah.
All the gear, no idea. I think I'll put it...
and stuff. You think, well, I am, won't he?
I think I've literally got on my Facebook profile pictures a photo of me with the decks on. I'd captioned it, #DJ.
The decks on? You mean headphones, clearly.
I had the actual decks on my head. That's how clueless I was. So again, I had the actual decks on my head, but yeah, so I had the headphones on and I'd gone like #DJ, and Ollie Purvis or Ollie James now has actually commented saying all the gear, no idea, as if he knows how to DJ and that, you know what I mean, Ollie. But going back to that as well, when you said there, when you heard the dates and you were like, well, I am free now, felt like a bit of, in your voice, I felt like a bit of Alex has had that same situation, but hasn't dropped what he's doing or something. Is this about Alex and the stag do and he's missing one of these shows that isn't even a stag do?
Well, festival season starts on the 24th of May. Which is Bank Holiday weekend.
That's In It Together Festival.
So Alex wouldn't miss that, the first week.
I mean, we're doing In It Together Festival because it's the biggest festival in Wales, apparently.
Right.
And then the day after, we're doing Brighton for the start of our 90s festival tour. And somebody's booked onto a stag do, but it's not a stag do anymore, but he's still going.
Yeah, I mean, you have to support him. He's going through a bad time. But in my defence, like, I didn't really think there was a bank holiday this early on.
Yeah.
I knew there was
There's already been 2.
There's always 2 in May.
Yeah, no, but I thought it was like the 31st. I don't know why in my head. I thought it was like the 31st of May.
So
hold on. The 31st of May
is a Friday.
Yeah. So you can't have that.
It's usually at the end, isn't it? The start and the end.
I see what you're saying.
Like,
it is at the end. It's the last available Monday. It's the last available Monday.
Well, I do apologise, but you're very slow with the dates.
So what I'd said to him is, I'm old school, so I've got a diary. So when someone rings me, I can open the diary and go, there we go, I'm free on that date. Close the book. And now he's got me on all these apps where it's linked, and I'm like, I can't even read it. It's like tiny writing. And I'm like, he's going, I'm free on this date, and I'm open my book, and I think, we're free on that date. And he's still busy faffing on with his phone. I'm like, just go old school. It's dead easy.
Pen and paper.
There you go. Pen and paper.
Yeah, I do feel really bad, like I'm missing it. I am going to be so good.
In it together, the irony of the name.
He's already putting his suntan cream on. He's like, I feel really bad.
But the good thing about this is, who's to say that I can't find a good venue in Benidorm for us to take it over there?
It's a great spin, though, isn't it? It's a great spin by him.
Fact-finding, if anything.
Crowd,
it's a research trip.
The other one he said to me was, it'll be good for the YouTube channel. And I went, how'd you work that out? He went, so you can have some footage of you at the festival, and then you can keep saying about Alex isn't here, blah, blah, blah. And then it'll show me partying in Benidorm. I went, yeah.
To be fair, I'm going Benidorm soon, so I'll ask around for you as well, and I'll see if they need a warm-up DJ. I'll get the decks on my head again, and I'll get that on.
Tickets are on sale. Yeah. What's going to be different? If anyone's been to see you before at Stack, if anyone's seen any of your shows, what's going to be different at the arena? Like, why should people buy a ticket for this?
I think with that one, I think we're hosting it, so we're in between. So rather than an act being on, and then you have that bit where it's sort of, while they're changing over, I think it just stops that. Okay. We'll go get a drink, go and do so. It's like, we'll come back on, bang, and away we go.
Yeah. Oh, so there's acts as well.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, I thought it was just you guys doing the arena.
No, right, so I don't want to go now. I only wanted to go when it was you.
We are the main act.
Hey.
You are headlining.
Yeah, in between everybody. So I think the Benga Boys and there's other.
I think obviously.
I should have.
Ultra Beats, I think. Yeah, so there's quite a lot there. I think a couple of people have been on the pod already, so it would have. Yeah, they wouldn't know about it.
So what you're saying, we're getting them back on the pod?
I think we should all get them all the 90s acts that we're doing them with. Like, get them all on.
Alex has also agreed that if we ever need a third man to come on the pod, he's gonna come jump on.
That's all right.
But I feel like you should replace him because he might be on a stag do that isn't a stag do again. Do you know what I mean?
What you'll do is you'll book him and you say, I can't.
He's already done that.
What he'll do is he'll leave it until, say, you're doing it at 5 o'clock on a Monday.
Yeah.
You'll go, on the Sunday, you'll say, mate, I forgot. I'm doing something. I'm going for a nice meal somewhere. I can't do it.
I mean, I know. I still feel really bad, but
no, you don't.
I do. I really do. But I like I love doing the festivals with you.
If we had this electric shock thing, you'd be getting shocked right now with that smile.
You left it in the car.
I mean, just going back to the sort of like the arenas, what you've just been speaking about there and stuff. And I mean, I think we forget sort of how far we've actually come. I don't think we give ourselves enough sort of credit sometimes. We started at Stag Newcastle, and COVID hit us, so we're kind of lost everything for a couple of years and done everything sort of online when we're just starting. Then we got involved when we came back, and we do sort of Oktoberfest like in Times Square, and then we do basically all the stacks that are opening. We're in partnership with them. So the next one that's opening, I think, is Lincoln, and they've got one in Whitley Bay. They've got one coming in
Carlisle,
Durham. So like they're going to be all over. So Kroud is eventually going to be across like the whole of the UK.
And see, at any point, are you now thinking that you're going to have to get other people to get?
We're at that point. So if anyone is
I'm
looking for a job in social media or presenters,
tatey in the shirt.
I'll be the tatey in the shirt and the dickhead on the decks. Well, I'll do them both.
I can imagine you two after on stage together.
He can put the decks on his head.
But that's really interesting.
The decks are on my head already.
That's the point you're at now.
You need to sort of. We need to make a decision. The problem is, it's you know from this, it's
letting go of your baby,
and it's like And you let it go and you'll just be sitting there going,
well, it's your baby with your baby.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's even more. It's even more personal.
Yeah.
so it's, letting someone loose on it, it has to be right.
You'd have to do it if you. I think what you'd have to do is probably them to come on down to one of the shows, and then they'll do like half of the show
On the job training.
Yeah. And they can have like a go in there.
I mean, I've got loads of kids, but obviously Alex does it, but the rest are like, no thanks, I don't want to do that.
Well, one of them is a professional boxer now, isn't he?
Apparently, I don't.
King of the Ring.
No, he's retired.
He's retired, has he?
Yeah.
Two of them work for Dean, not us.
Yeah, I know.
We're laughing at this because you worked for us when 2014.
I worked for you when it was Loose Logic.
There's been 3 Shrouders.
Yes,
3 Shrouders work for Loose.
There's another one still to come.
There's a 4th one coming.
I would be surprised.
I mean, can we even claim it as well? Because you DJ'd for us when we had Tiger. So I've had 4.
I was there anyway.
It looks like it's brought you closer together. Yeah. What have you learned working together that you might not have known before?
That I've got a temper when I'm pushed.
It takes a lot, though.
I can't imagine you angry.
No. It's when you get a dodgy stage manager,
right?
And like they don't show you any respect; they just treat you like. And I'm so easygoing.
And easy to work with,
and you just because I always said that though, because he's stroppy, he is stroppy.
No.
Is he stroppy? Have you seen his stroppy side?
Well, he's only 1 beer in. When he gets to 3 beer, so 1 beer he's sound, 2 beers he's needy, 3 beers he's stroppy.
I get stroppy when I'm not in the inner circle.
So what happens is, but the problem is if I lose my shit, it make it like times 10 because obviously his dad is annoyed about some prick talking to him. Mm-hmm. So he's like, I've got to then rein him in because. Right. But it's just sometimes I like being easy to work with. Mm-hmm. So it's like, what do you need? Say so we're at a festival and I'll be right. This is the time we want you to go on, and that's the time we need you to come off. Right, great. But obviously sometimes running things or that people aren't ready or that tech isn't ready and stuff. And I just say to them, look, just give us a 5 minutes or can you stop in 5 rather than just off now. And like, we're an act. I mean, some of the festivals are great, but there's other festivals we've been to where they just go, who are these 2 titties in a shirt? Yeah. And even though the crowd, there was one where and the crowd were going crazy singing. And I turned around, he says, we've got to stop. I went, what? That's literally we're done 10 minutes or 15 minutes of our set. We've got to come off. Why? And it was one of the acts didn't want us on before.
Because we've got the crowd sort of that.
And that was it.
Yeah. Kind of come on,
I won't name the act, but I was like, Beyonce.
But who was it?
You're allowed to say? Are you allowed to say?
I mean, I'm not allowed to say, but you are.
No, I'm not saying it. No. We might bump into them again somewhere along the lines.
Bridges.
If you just want to say it, you can edit out who said it.
I'll tell you when we stop recording.
Okay, we'll stop recording. Who was it?
Like you said, it's one of those where, like you say, you get different sort of stage managers every single time, and when you get the good ones, it's mint because every day goes well, and it makes your life so much easier, doesn't it?
I mean, like, the Noughties 90s festival, all through the country, so we're doing Brighton, Hitchin. Where else are we doing, Alex? We're doing Newcastle, and the one in Newcastle I love because obviously I'm from Newcastle. The actual place that it is, I used to play there as a kid, and like I don't know what it is, but every year we've done 3 years with them now. So 3 years, it's still when you're playing Angel because our last song's Angels with the lights in the air and stuff, and it's just I don't know why, but it always gets you because you're like you're in front of like 20,000 people there singing their heads off to Angels with the lights in the air, lights swaying, and you think.
Do you come down like upside down from your ankles like Robbie at Nebworth? Do you come down like arms out?
I know about me bitch. His tits would be like his decks around his ears.
That's why you need to get them electric shock things out. You can pin them in.
I'll be like that by now.
Do you notice any difference around the country? Do you notice any difference at all?
Yeah. So we done it on. We just got booked for a private booking. It was at Lane 7 in Leicester, it was. Mm-hmm. We got some pictures of the screen. It's huge. And it had like a small area. They said, we just want to give it a go. So we went down there and we went on and we start with tequila. So when it does the big countdown, we've got my intro stuff. And on we came, like I bounced onto the stage and went, Leicester, hey! And also just turned and swung on the benches and clapped. waiting to be entertained. And I'm like, well,
come on, monkey boy, dance.
That's not how it works. So it was about 3 to 4 songs. So I think as you go down south, it's a lot more. I mean, you probably find me a DJ and a lot more.
It didn't help that the screen was like 2-second delays and the sound was horrendous.
Yeah.
So
is that the stroppy side coming out there? Were you fuming? Yeah.
I was just making the best of it.
It was out of time. So you know, they were trying to sing, but then it wasn't.
But we always say this. I was going to say we always say this anyway. Though, like Newcastle North East is like one of the friendliest. Do you notice that within these sets?
God, yeah.
Okay.
I've noticed it when we went further, like Brighton, when we do there. I mean, at the start, they were just kind of like, I think they were like that for every act though, because we follow the acts all around all the festivals that they do. And you see, the further north you go, the more upfront you are.
Oh, yeah, go on then. We know you're at the pinnacle of your game right now. You're booked at the arena. You're smashing it. You got a massive summer boot. Have you got any horror stories? Because now you can tell them because you're at the top of your game. Have you had anywhere like the crowd haven't reacted, like when you first started, or has everyone always been super positive? And if it was, I'm guessing it's somewhere down the country, or has it always been spawn?
No, it's like I think that one at Leicester.
It's probably the worst you get.
One was probably one of the worst.
I think that's a brilliant story, that though.
With the 5 one side and 5 the other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We were promised 500, at least 500.
Is that what they said?
Yeah.
At what point were they still telling you 500 as you're on your way?
He was kind of going, there's about 250.
They're turning up. They're turning up.
They're starting to sway.
It's still early. It was lashing down it was lashing down as well. I went, this isn't going to happen. And obviously, like by the time we're at we're at the stack, and it's a bit like, why are you doing this? Because they care about us as well. They're like, it could damage your brand massively. Yeah. Just pull out, say you're not doing it.
Yeah.
And we were like, we can't do that. We're like, he's Alex knows him, and it's just a bit of a favour thing. Yeah.
Well, you've been, when you told that story, you've been class because you said we don't want any money for it. We'll happily just not perform.
Yeah.
It's only when you get there and you see 10 people with t-shirts of your faces on them where you probably feel
Alex's.
like with Alex's.
But you know what I said that he should be doing, and this one's for you. I think a student Kroud Karaoke, because we are kind of sort of like our age group. Well, actually, you're seeing that the young ones are starting to come in now. However, it's usually from sort of 23 upwards. But I think the students would absolutely love it.
We should edit that out because we should actually do that and not like announce that right now because that's a fucking brilliant shout.
Yeah.
In fact, we'll edit it.
We've always said that.
Yeah, our crowd, I always say, we're aimed at the mums from school.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they're the ones that'll plan a night out and come out and they just, they've got no inhibitions.
Yeah.
They look after the kids, do what I'm going out on Friday or Saturday night and I'm going to have a party. And that's what you find the 90s festivals are like. It's people who don't go out all the time, but they're like, I'm going to that festival and relive me youth.
They go big.
Wild.
Well, let's hope no one's watching this who does student stuff like us, but let's maybe have a chat about that and get that one out. There we go, and watch this back. We can prove that Alex hasn't done what he did with you and try to claim it was his idea. Because as we'll see when it's been edited, that it was just me and you who came up with that, didn't we? Yeah.
It was.
Great idea, that.
To be fair, I'm sure
that is a great shout, that though.
We had this conversation in 2019.
Do you know what though? When we had the conversation in 2019, it was about the fest. It was about LooseCast though, if you remember, because LooseCast. It was
going to be next to the Quayside.
Yeah, LooseCast back in the day was going to be 2020. It was going to start 2020, and then we ended up going in 2021 because COVID.
Yeah.
But that I remember we had in this very room, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. I come in here, new swanky offices going.
Before they were covered in silly string.
Before there was silly string everywhere.
As you would say, Newcastle knew when he had an out.
Also, I'm going to call out Dean here as well. He hasn't actually been to a Kroud Karaoke yet. I've been to every single one of his events.
Why would you say that? Have you been?
One.
No.
I'm going to call out Felix. He hasn't been to a Kroud Karaoke either.
No.
I've just always been working generally when I've seen them on.
So he's going to be part of the crew now.
I could sit and talk to you about the technicality side of it for like an hour, but the viewership would just drop aggressively. But yeah, I think you made a good shout. I mean, ultimately, like when I used to do Digital Mondays, that was kind of like before you named it, before you were doing it, that was essentially what I used to try and create anyway. Like the same with Dirty Pop. It was always just like the amount of stuff I would drop out. I think I did everyone's heads in, but then you would like, because obviously I was doing it with lyrics, but then you would drop it out and let people sing for ages and just start the next thing. But the next thing would only be in for like 5 or 10 seconds before you drop that out again, and you just constantly.
And he gets that sort of reaction.
Well, it was amazing. And I mean, I think one of the reasons I asked you about the venues is like, what was great about those places? I mean, like Digital's just a concrete box. So it used to get so loud. And then even, what was NX now, but what was the Academy at the time again, would just get so loud.
Well, obviously the stack was an open air. They got half a roof on by the end, but at first it didn't have any. But they realised when it rained, it emptied out. So they put the half roof on, and which solved the problem. That was when the Newcastle one. But I remember we got booked for Paddy Fest in Times Square. So that was the first time we'd done it enclosed. Yeah. And it was just like, whoa. Because obviously sound it was still loud. It's still really loud at the start. But that enclosing it is just mental. Yeah. Like when they started singing, and you were like, God, how loud
that sort of
probably are.
I mean, every time still, I think, even when I do the shows now, you get that sort of chill because, I mean, you can imagine when you're on stage and everyone is projecting your voices at you. It's just like...
With a bit of Whitney Houston always.
And what's the dream? What's the end goal?
I would
say... To be sitting back and just going...
Yeah. Well, I've just come back from house hunting in Spain, so that's the dream. I'll be in Spain and just clicking on me internet banking going...
I mean, Kroud Karaoke Magaluf has got to be, you know what I mean? That would, you know what I mean? If they're flying Scotty T over there every fucking week.
Well, I mean, because I used to know Gotti. Yeah. DJ Gotti worked he was BCMs, and obviously messaged and stuff like that. And stuff like that would work mint. Especially people have no inhibitions on holiday anyway, and then they come to something like that. So,
have you done it internationally yet? Have you gone?
Good question. I like your link. We haven't until October this year.
Yeah, we're doing Malta, so it's going to be the first overseas one. But it's like again in partnership with Naughty, so it's the first time they're doing it as well, and they're going to be kind of it's like a 4-day event, so it's going to be sort of board parties, pool parties, like indoor sort of club
I'm loving the fact a pool party Kroud Karaoke would be...
That'd be mint, yeah. And
Ushuaia.
Yeah. And then what's the other one as well? It's like on a beachfront, isn't it? So it's like
so I think they're going to have sort of staging, hotel takeovers, beach takeover, boat parties. We don't know how we're going to get a big, massive screen onto a boat and not sink it.
Yeah, we were talking about that before. I mean, getting the screen on a boat.
Yeah,
it's doable.
I like the fact if you can't swim though, you give out loads of inflatables.
Yeah.
Unless you're screwed like me, who can't blow it up.
Put them under your arm.
Pull your toggle.
Mike on each side.
We're going to get you back on before the arena. If people want to find out more about you guys, where should they go? What should they Google? What should they...
we'll just realise this if you Google Kroud Karaoke anyway, we're the top ones now.
Nice.
So you can obviously just search us on Instagram, Facebook, Kroud Karaoke, and we've got obviously all our events on there. We've got Linktree on there, so it's got everything with all the links on there.
And to anyone that doesn't know, how did the name Kroud Karaoke come up? I mean, I obviously know because I know your full names, but have you ever explained that one?
We don't actually. So the surname's Shrouder. So we're like, we can't just call it Kroud Karaoke. So we'll call it Shroud Karaoke at first, and then I went, because that doesn't make any sense. And I said, well, so Kroud, as in
R-O-U-D.
R-O-U-D.
Yeah, but with a K. So, and it's dual K as well, which looks better as well than a C and then a K. Yeah, much better. But yeah, that's... And most of the people in town know, because like they kind of know, obviously, there's, as you said, there's about 5 of us.
Yeah, because you've liked everyone's photos in the world. Not in a seedy way, just you've liked everyone's photos in the world.
It's definitely seedy.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do him like that. Someone's like, Alex Shroud, Kroud. He's the best form of promo, isn't he?
The whole thing is, he said, he still doesn't remember this, but he goes, like the stuff on Instagram, blah, blah, blah. And I go, have I got any? I don't do Instagram. I've got, because I'm old, so I have Facebook, and that's the mums from school, so I can deal with them, like, sending messages through, and because obviously Alex deals with all this.
He messages the mums from school too, just about different stuff. Different stuff.
Yeah. So,
are you not going to deny that, Alex?
Right, boys, we'll have a great summer, and we'll catch you again before the arena.
Yeah.
Thank you, boys.
Thank you.